Good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and hop into this property management meeting and start doing this. Once it starts sharing it. Okay,
Yep, I got it.
You do? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up myself. There we go. Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Okay, good deal. I reordered it a little bit this time. I'm trying to update it. I've been swamped since I got home from my vacation, so quote unquote vacation. So I haven't really had an opportunity to get all this taken care of yet, but let's go ahead and hop into this.
So where did you go? Because I was actually out of town last week.
Oh yeah, what were you doing?
That was our anniversary trip. We were down in Florida.
Down where?
Down in Florida, New Smyrna.
I don't know where that is.
It's like 10 miles south of Daytona.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, can't complain about that. Nice and warm and right next to the beach, right?
Yeah, we were right on the beach.
Love it. Hopefully one of these days you get to visit Hawaii with your wife, because Hawaii is beautiful.
That'd be nice.
Anyway, so let's see. Overview, same stuff that we always talk about. Unless there's other stuff that you wanted to bring up, you just let me know. And let's go ahead and talk about future business improvements. So we got the list here. You can go ahead and read it as you want. And maybe, is there anything else that you have that isn't mentioned here or that you want to talk about specifically for future business improvements, what we can do to make things better, more streamlined?
I don't have anything specific as far as, or anything general as far as that, but with specifics, I listed Darst on Furnish Finder as well.
Okay.
So when we get to that one, I'll if you know numbers on like utilities and what your expenses are, that'll help with the listing price. It seems like we're doing pretty good with Wiltshire. So I thought I'd give Darst a try to see if we can get midterm bookings for like 3 to 6 months.
Definitely.
Or at least 30 days at a time.
Definitely. I really like that idea. And the idea that I had developed earlier about actually turning it into an Airbnb, 2 separate Airbnbs, I still want to do that, but we need to, figure out some contractors that are actually going to do the work for us, and it's going to be like $20,000 to $25,000 to convert it, but it would double the income of the property. Because they would still both be very large units for Airbnbs. They're already separated by that door in the kitchen. All we would need to do is put a lock on that for the opposite side so that it would specifically be for the downstairs Airbnb. And we'd need to get a washer and dryer for the upstairs. There's already a bathroom downstairs. And all that stuff. We'd need to get a kitchenette down there and set up those 2 separate rooms as actual bedrooms, and it would be good. But I don't know if you feel like you could do that work. It wouldn't be too complicated. It would just be basically putting up some drywall, getting some ventilation set up for the extra washer and dryer that would be put upstairs, and things like that. And Luke had even developed a plan for us. He sketched it out on one of his CAD drawings or something. It'd be very straightforward from what I could tell. What do you think?
I could set up walls.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the issue. The issue would be you definitely need an electrician to come in and run the 220 for the dryer and the kitchenette, the dryer upstairs, and electrical for I'd have to measure, but I would believe that you could fit a stackable washer dryer unit in the cubby hole space in the bathroom upstairs next to the
that's true.
next to the bathroom or next to the tub. I'm pretty sure a stackable unit would fit in there. So you would just have to run the 220 outlets for the dryer, normal 110 for the I guess it would just take that one outlet and the ventilation for that, and that'd be set up. And then you need the same thing for the I think you can turn that washing room where the washer and dryer is in the basement. I think you can turn that into a kitchenette pretty easily. Um, I could set up walls. That's not the, I could do that. I could partition off and do most of it probably. I'd have to walk through the property and kind of piecemeal out everything that would need to be done. But I know the electrician for that and a plumber to tie everything in if we did a kitchenette in the basements. Um, and then probably tying in the washing machine upstairs. And the only thing that might be an issue when you convert them to top and bottom units is you've got the furnace, the thermostat upstairs. Um, Either you lock that out if it's an Airbnb, you close all the vents in the basement and get like a mini split or something. Because then you have whoever's controlling the heat upstairs and the AC upstairs is also getting it in the basement.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thankfully, the HVAC works pretty darn well for that property, so that's not an
Right.
issue. We would just need to absolutely make sure that it's locked at specific temperatures. And I guess you and I could find a way to make it so that we have control over that, perhaps distally, maybe with Wi-Fi or something, or internet access. Or we could get a separator, like you were saying, and make it so that both ends had their own separate controls. But if you think that's something that you could tackle, and you're telling me that we can do more Airbnbs now because you got a little bit more time on your hands, that would be ideal, because we would go from averaging $1,800 a month on that property to literally averaging $3,600, and that would be mind-blowingly good. And it would be easier for you guys to go and clean it because it's one property. You'd have one place to go to, just like Wiltshire, right? And we'd be able to, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. And if I get you to do it, you might even be able to do it for cheaper than Luke, because he probably gave me an upcharge because he was a contractor, general contractor. So
Right.
plus I pay you every month, so
Yeah, when you get closer to wanting to pull the trigger on that, then I can kind of go and piece it out and take a look at it. And if you have that CAD drawing from Luke of how he separated it, that would be very helpful. Because we'd probably want to wall off the furnace room and make that a bedroom, or something, or a study, because you have to walk through the bathroom through there, so they don't have access to the furnace, and then do another bedroom outside of that or something.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely look that up. And I think he also had set up to where he was going to make the bottom HVAC portion like an ultra thin one, so that you wouldn't be just touching your head onto the HVAC when you go downstairs. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. But yeah, any other business improvements that we haven't talked about?
No, just listing all the Airbnbs on Furnish Finder as well to see if we can get guaranteed income on those for a couple months at a time.
Definitely. Okay, so we'll move here, and this is what I was talking about. Well, I actually moved to the future one. So let's just go ahead and talk about Darst. Anything else that we haven't covered, property maintenance, CapEx related?
So normal maintenance, that the back porch is not getting any better. So anytime you wanted to pull the trigger on that, besides that, there's no other maintenance going on at Darst.
Okay, all right. Whatchamacallit? Have you been able to reinforce the back porch at all, just to temporarily keep it in place and without issues?
Yeah, just the handrails that are, I've screwed those back in place, but it's, it doesn't look great. Just the deck boarding doesn't look great, and so that would be a CapEx expense.
Yeah, for sure. If you can find a way to inexpensively get like some lumber to go to put down the opposite direction of the wood that's already there, that would reinforce it very well. and it would last probably another year or two. So that would be good. Do you have any inexpensive sources for wood? It could even be pallet wood. I don't care. You can get it off of skids.
I don't. I don't buy much lumber, so I'd be looking at Home Depot or something.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you could, when you get a chance, you could go talk to Home Depot management and see if they have any skids in the back that they just need to get rid of, which they might. It happens pretty often, actually. I don't care. I just want it to be reinforced until I can get it fixed.
Sure, sure.
So, all right, there's that.
And then what is, I've got it listed on Furnish Finder for $2,200 a month. And you're saying your average is about 18?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay. So I might be able to, we'll see how a list goes at for 2,200. The expense for Furnish Finder is only 150 bucks for a year. So even if you didn't get any, you only dropped 150 bucks. So,
Yeah.
but I might, if I don't get anything in a month or two, then I might bring it down to like 2,000 and see what happens.
Yeah, I like it. And just to give you a rough idea, if you didn't already know, because you were asking me earlier what the utility costs are, it's about 75 for electric, about 75 for gas, and about 40 a month for water, which is divided by 3, or pardon me, multiplied by 3 when I get the payments. So it's 120 every quarter or whatever it is. So all those together, I mean, it ends up being like 250, 300 a month, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Darst. Now let's talk about Wiltshire. So how are things looking over there?
Good. No, nothing maintenance wise. So still got everyone's paid up, and then I've, as long as I get the payment, I've got a Furnish Finder listing coming in on the 24th, and for 1,200 a month. And she would, let me look at the Airbnb calendar, because she would come in after this next booking, and then I should get that payment today or tomorrow, or else I told her I'd have to open up the Airbnb listing again. So she's in there for 30 days. I don't only have to cancel one Airbnb booking.
Yeah.
And so she'd be in there for 30 days. And then by the, I told her I'd have to know by like between the 18th and 20th
Yeah.
of July if she's going to extend. She's on she's working at Miami Valley Hospital, and has the option to extend her contract after 30 days for another 3 months. Told her I have to know between like the 18th and 20th if she's going to extend that, because there is a longer booking that's in there on July 28th. But if she does extend it, it'd be for 3 months, and so uh she'd go to like the end of September
Okay. Okay.
for 1,200 a month.
Okay. Okay. So that's the original Airbnb, right?
Yes, yeah, that's the downstairs unit. And then you still got a guy named Brian upstairs. He's paying on the 15th of every month. And so he's doing good. Haven't heard a peep out of him or the other tenants.
And you said I'm sorry, he's paying 1,200 a month?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool, cool. And the other tenants are good then. All right.
Yep.
And looking at this, it keeps on not updating or reverting back to where it was. Can we look up the lease renewal dates again for Jeffrey and Amber, please?
Yep. Amber renews and she had to renew January 1st of 25.
And it looks like Jeffrey's coming up actually.
Yeah, he would have to renew September 1st.
Okay.
And so he's at 615, 645 with the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to increase his rent?
Yeah, about 2% is what I'm thinking, even though inflation is about 3.3%.
So go to 660.
Sorry, just 1 second. My phone's being funny. Yeah, 660 sounds right.
All right, I'll notify him.
Like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll notify him. He's not going anywhere. So
Yep. And he's not being made to pay too much either, so I think it's a win-win.
yeah.
All right. Any other CapEx or maintenance with Wiltshire that we haven't talked about already?
No, just if you can ever work with the neighbors on the driveway, that's the only real CapEx expense.
Okay. And you have their contact info, right? The management of that property?
Yeah, I should still have it. I mean, I think I called them, it was probably 2 years ago at this point,
Okay.
but unless it switched hands, I still got it.
All right. If you want to reach out to them, just like text them, call them or something, see if their prospects have changed for the driveway.
Yeah.
We can get that sorted. All right. So that's that. All right. Now let's talk about the brick. 438 Wonderly.
So no maintenance. Everything's doing great over there. India Martin's lease is up at the end of this month and she is moving.
Okay. All right. I think we could probably. What are you gonna rent the place out for?
750.
750.
And it's, yeah, and what I started doing there is including the garage, so you automatically get a garage. And for 2 reasons, I don't know if I discussed this before, but so they automatically pay for a garage, and if they leave any trash there and stuff, they're responsible. So if we have to clean it out, we'll take it out of their deposit or something at the end, whenever they move out.
Good.
Or if it's just got a bunch of stuff in there, then they're responsible to clean it out. So
100%.
now this would be risky, but Oakwood doesn't allow you to do anything less than a 30-day lease.
Mm-hmm.
So we could throw it on, if we wanted to furnish it and throw it on Furnished Finder, it would be like at least $1,200 a
In a
month.
meeting. It would be at least what?
It'd be at least $1,200 a month. It'd be probably closer to 15.
Yeah,
But I can't guarantee that it's going to get a booking
yeah.
all the time, every month.
Yeah.
But I know I can get someone in there by the 15th of August, because those apartments go super fast. People love them.
I mean, it would be wonderful if we could do that. The problem is we'd need to get everything set up, not just the Furnished Finder, also the electrical, the gas, the internet, everything. It would be quite a logistical effort to get that set up. And then we also have to furnish it, like you said. The idea is out there. I like it. I'm not opposed to it. It's just that but let's go ahead and get the other irons sorted out before we do that one. And right now, let's just go ahead and rent it out.
Sure. I could, if you want me to try 800, it might go for 800. I could try that for a couple weeks.
I suppose you could do that. When are you going to list it?
I should list it this afternoon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Realistically, I've already got the Zillow listing templated on there, so I just got to put it available, as it should be available on the 1st.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. And by the way, you had informed me about Wiltshire that the other guy is there for month to month at $1,200.
Yeah.
I forgot when I gave you your property management fee this month. I should have given you 50 more than that because that was basically the agreement.
Oh, if you want to give me 50 more, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll Venmo it to you a little bit later. So, okay, cool. And everything else is good here?
Yeah, no other issues, just the CapEx if you wanted to do the garage. But it's a few $1,000 CapEx, and And an even larger CapEx would be if you want to do individual AC units for each
Yeah, definitely.
each unit.
Definitely. So basically what it comes down to is I need to be saving up like $150,000 so that we can get all these properties totally fixed up and good to go. Sound about right?
Yeah, and that's just the central AC in there is just an accoutrement, and I think the same thing with the
Mm-hmm.
garage doors. Um, because even when I talked to Lori, she was just like, "No, I don't want like central AC if it increases my rent." Like she's got a very good rent, uh,
Yeah.
so she doesn't want to leave, and she wants to keep her rent as little as possible. And I haven't had any complaints about the window units so far. You know, even when it's 90 degrees and upstairs not keeping up. So
So we can stand by on that part. That's good.
yeah.
All right. Cool. Cool. Shoot. Let's move on to the next one. Next property is Smithville. How are we looking over there?
Yeah, no maintenance. Tenants both paid on time. Um, and not really any CapEx besides maybe doing some tree trimming at sometime, but it's not at all imminent. And we've talked about that before. Um, Douglas is on a month to month now, and we told him we'd give him a couple months to move, and he hasn't moved yet. Um, uh, I can try to get him to sign a lease, and if he doesn't, give him a 30-day notice, or uh, or just give him a 30-day notice.
He's been causing us issues, right?
Um, he seems a little mentally unstable by the scenarios the neighbor is calling me about occasionally,
Gotcha.
where he'll call the cops on Roger, um, and they're supposed to have uh, it's not an official protection order, but they're trespassing. They're not supposed to step foot on each other's side, and so there are tensions with the tenants, and it seems to be stemming from Douglas.
Mm. Yeah, so we definitely want to get that sorted. Yeah, if he doesn't either sign a new lease or leave by that time, then let's go ahead and do the 30-day notice. I prefer not having him cause the other tenants issues.
Sure, I'll reach out to him, see if he has any plans, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything, whatever he says, unless he tells me he actually is moving. Okay.
All right, good deal. So that's Smithville. Next up is Highland. How we looking?
Highland's doing great maintenance wise. The only issue is the chimney still. Um, and so I haven't gotten out there to try to see if I could just throw some roof tar on it to keep it from leaking, but
Yeah.
that might solve that issue. We're doing good with the AC on the 1050 51 side so far, and no maintenance issues from the 1053 side. But uh, Diarra paid cash. I forwarded that to you. Um, and then James is a month and a half behind, but he's making payments.
Okay, so he is indeed catching up.
Yeah, not as fast as I'd hope, but he's working on it.
Okay. Okay. All right then. Well, no capex maintenance. That's always good when we have very little to talk about a property. Um, keep the AC on. Hold on a second. Uh, okay. One last check. Anything else that we didn't talk about with this property?
No, nothing at Highland.
Okay. Next up is Downing. How are we looking here?
Maintenance, everything's good. When I texted you, was that last week, about everyone paid up, Larry's payment got rejected. And so he's paying on Friday with a money order or something. So then I'll forward that to you with a late fee. But I haven't heard anything out of either one of them besides that. So that's good.
Did he say why or how it got rejected?
It was it was some story about he had some other payment processing. It got rejected for insufficient funds. So he had some other payment processing and didn't keep an eye on it because it takes like 2 business days to process out of your account when they pay online. And so he didn't have enough when it processed.
Okay, I see. So he'll be okay in the next few days then. Good.
Yeah.
He's never had a problem before, so I'm surprised by that. And Will isn't having any issues either then, huh?
Not that I know of.
All right, good deal. And just to have it up here, driveway. I'll forget about that. All right. And no other CapEx or maintenance issues we haven't talked about.
No, I mean, there was that issue with Larry's furnace last year, but it doesn't, we're told that it was like on its last leg, but it's not seeming to go anywhere. It's sticking around.
Yeah. C'est la vie. All right. And now the remaining properties, single families. Let's talk about Diplomat. How are we looking over there?
Diplomat's good. There was a complaint. Can't remember if it was definitely in the last month about them not taking care of the lawn. So they got taken care of. They're paying on time, and everything seems to be good at Diplomat.
Okay.
When their lease is up, we'll increase it quite a bit for them.
Okay. All right, so that one, and they're up on the 25th, or pardon me, the 1st of January next year. How's Santa Clara looking?
So I got it listed. I showed it yesterday, but they weren't interested in going forward. It's moving ready. It's a hard sell though. I've probably shown it 3 times in this last month and let them know about like, hey, we did the heat treatment with bed bugs. It's got residual spray. There's no signs of bed bugs as far as we can tell. And it's only $800 a month. But haven't gotten anyone to pull the trigger on that one.
Well, I don't want to budge from 800 because if we go too much lower, then we're going to get buttholes in there that'll bring bed bugs back.
Yeah, I want to go any lower, but after like maybe the end of this month, I'm probably going to just stop saying anything about the bed bugs because that was back in April that we did the heat treatment and there was a residual spray. So, and we haven't seen any signs of them since. I just like to warn people, but hasn't been anybody living in there since September. So,
Okay. So, in terms of how appealing the property looks, like on the outset, are there any issues there? Like, is the lawn not being kept up well, or is the neighborhood becoming a little bit more run down than it was before, or?
I don't think the neighborhood's any more run down, but it's a low income neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can stand in the front yard and see 2 or 3 boarded up houses, on that, within the vicinity. So, everyone I had one guy call me, he said he was moving up from Cincinnati and he's like, man, my wife's in the Air Force. I got a small business. I was like, do you know the area? Do you know what? He's like, no. I'm like, this is low income. I was like, I don't know if this is not the right property for you. Uh, uh, so, or else he would have got up here to look at it and drove through the neighborhood and been like, this is not the right property for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, I don't know, the people I took through yesterday, I thought they were gonna go through with it because it would have been 3 income sources in the house. And because there's 3 friends looking to move in together, and it was low rent, but I don't know, maybe because it doesn't have central AC, they just said it's not what they're looking for.
Okay.
They,
All right.
but they didn't care about the bed bugs having the heat treatment and everything.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I don't have a mortgage on that, because then it would be an issue. But let's just keep on working with it. We'll get somebody in there eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. Sooner rather than later, of course. But I don't want to budge below 800 for what we were talking about. All right. Now Groveland, how are we looking over there?
So I'm currently looking to get a cleaner in there this week because John Luke, who I was using, who's going there, you know, essentially in his free time to clean and pay him an hourly rate, got a new job, so he is busy, and so he can't do any more side jobs. So I'm looking for a cleaner to come in there and clean the whole thing, and then which is a big job, the condition it's in, and then get the contractor in there to fix those things we talked about with the tub and a couple plumbing issues.
I thought we were going to get that taken care of a little bit earlier. What's the holdup?
So I thought John Luke was going to do more work than he did, or more work than he was going to do. So he was a little bit slower than I thought he would be. And then just last week he got a new job. So
where's he
now I
working?
got look. I think it's actually for Amazon, but he's like a tech guy. I think he's in a warehouse in Columbus, pulling wires or something.
Okay. Well, it's working for Amazon. That's not a bad job.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Yeah, let's just try to get that done as soon as we can. Again, good that we don't have a mortgage on it, but still losing money if I don't get somebody in there. Melwood. Next up is Melwood. How are we looking there?
So we got all the permits, all the utilities, everything is good there. Just waiting when you want to pull the trigger and start working on the inside.
So what portion of the inside could be done first for the cheapest?
So someone would have to come in and fix the flooring where there is actually holes cut out in the floor. That would be number one, which would, I wouldn't assume that would be more than a couple $100 because you're talking about like $50 in materials for lumber and plywood. That would be first, and then you would want to start working on the electrical, to be a little bit more. If we need to run any more electrical, and all the plumbing is done through the whole house, so that's not an issue anymore. So then you'd want to do the electrical, and then everything else is finishing out the kitchen, cabinets, and then drywall, painting.
Okay. And you don't want to do the kitchen or anything like that until the electrical's in.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and put on the list for this month to get that first thing that you're talking about done, the floor holes in the floor.
Okay.
And then hopefully next month I'll be able to start tackling the electrical.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. For Sheridan, how are we looking over there?
Great. It's just Zach, and I forget the girl's name, but their friend, coworker moved out, so it's just them there, still on month to month.
All right. Good deal.
So I talked to them. They don't know when their contract would be up, but they're thinking it'll be towards the end of this year, and so we'll switch it back to Airbnb and list it on Furnish Finder when they move out. But it should be quick turnover.
Good deal. I like it. All right, let's see here. Talk about that. All right, any other maintenance CapEx concerns that we haven't already addressed?
No, nothing.
Okay, all right, good deal. And I have this here, unpaid invoices, if we want to go ahead and go over that.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to email them all to you and give you a total?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I'll add them all. I actually don't think I've had one. I don't think you paid one for like a month or so. Let's see. Oh, thank you. I found. I can email these all to you, but the total is 610.
610? All right.
Yeah, looks like there's. I'll go back just if you want to hold off on that, make sure, because one of them was like back from April.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure that I didn't just forget to log it. I will send all these to you right now. Okay, I think I got these all sent to you.
Okay, was it actually 610?
Let me look at my Venmo, see when the. Let me match it up with some payments. Looks to be correct.
Okay, I'll go ahead and send it to you right now. And if it,
Thank you.
yeah, if you see it at some point that there's a misallocation, then just remit, I guess, the money.
Sounds good.
All right, there's the unpaid invoices, unpaid rents. Anyone who still hasn't paid that we haven't talked about?
Not that we haven't talked about, just Larry coming up on Friday, he'll pay, and then James, who's behind in making payments.
Okay, good deal. The quicker they get those payments to me, the quicker I can get these properties fixed up. All righty, and then this is just a bunch of old stuff. So let's go ahead and chat a little bit about prospective properties. anything on the docket that we haven't talked about, or anything new?
I just got off the phone with the guy. I was making calls earlier today for prospective properties. It doesn't fit my normal a bill of what I'm looking for, but there's one on the west side that's essentially the guy who owned it passed away in late 2023. His only surviving heirs are one nephew who is in prison and another nephew who is in Lynchburg, Virginia. And so I talked with him. He's already got the ball rolling to get it into his name in probate. He's got power of attorney over his brother who's in prison. The property is in good condition. You could clean it out and it's rentable right now. There's $12,000 in taxes and another $12,000 lien on it. And so that puts you at like $25,000. And then in talking with him, he thought he could sell it for maybe 50, which I think is a little high, which would put him at you know, if it was not done through a title agency, if it was a quitclaim deed, if we took on the taxes and the lien, that's like 25,000. And you can deal with the taxes and the lien at a later date, but you'd be at like 50 total whenever you pay those other things. And I think he's going to come into town in a couple of weeks. I'm going to talk to him. It might be something that I could offer him, like, hey, I can give you 10 grand cash right now. Sign a couple. Well, he's got to get through probate. Once he gets it through probate, sign a couple papers. I'll give you 10 grand. He might go for it because I think he's overestimating how much the house is worth. I own a house 2 doors down, and I might be able to sell it for 50 to an investor or something. But the house next to it is abandoned, can't be salvaged, needs to be destroyed. And there's like 3 or 4 houses on that street that are in the same condition. And so I don't think he's going to get 50 out of it unless he cleans it up, probably fixes a few things. But if he wants a clean sell, I'm going to walk through it with him in a couple of weeks, hopefully when he's in town, and see what we can do. So that's a good lead. It's a little bit more than I would normally go for, but it's in way better condition.
All right, if you think that's immediately rentable, how much would it rent for, do you think?
If the house I've got down the street, 2 doors down, I rent for $900 a month, and I don't know if it'd be immediately rentable. It probably has a lot of personal property in there that would need to be cleaned out. The nephew I talked to said that there was a leak upstairs, and so there might be some issues. You'd be looking at like without seeing anything about the property except for outside, I guess it'd be like $2,000 to $4,000 in cleaning it out and fixes to get it rentable. And right now the lawn is like waist high, so that's you have to take care of that too. But
Well,
utilities can get turned on. Yeah, you wouldn't have to pull permits for this. It would be pretty quickly rented out, but not immediate.
So basically straightforward is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. And it's going to take a few months to get it through probate. He's already got the ball rolling to get it transferred, but that usually takes a couple months.
Okay, yeah, definitely. That sounds like something I'd like to do. Keep me apprised, and let that be the next one on our docket. All right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as long as he goes for what you're talking about. Let's see. Excuse me. Any other things that you wanted to talk about with respect to leads?
I don't have any other solid leads. I've been trying to work on a couple because I've got a house I'm working through that's going through probate, and It's causing a whole bunch of issues. It's not, I've already got like 3 grand I've spent on it, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it. So,
Ugh.
uh, I was- I'm looking at other properties, but I don't have any other true leads. Just stuff I'm working on.
Okay. I guess that's the cost of doing business, huh? Ouch.
Yeah, it's one with it's a Medicaid lien I didn't do enough research on. And
Mm,
so I already had paid the lady to transfer the property, and then found out it had to go through probate. And then once it got on probate, they told me I needed to get the Medicaid lien taken care of. And the Medicaid lien lawyers are not, these ones that I'm dealing with are not as reasonable as other ones I've dealt with. And so they want $11,000 to settle the Medicaid lien. And I'm like, that's uh, at least twice as much as I was going to be willing to pay to handle the Medicaid lien.
well, just keep haggling
But
back and forth with
that would
with my
be, yeah, that'd be a lead I'd be willing to at least sell my interest in. But they want 11. You have to. I don't know if the Medicaid lien will come back and if they'll get it any lower, but it'd be $11,000 straight up for the Medicaid lien, and uh, then it can get transferred into my name. Um, and then there are $9,000 in tax liens that would have to get taken care of at some point, and then it's a decent property. I'd have to go through permits to pull the gas and electric to get those on. It's a huge, huge cleanup job, and then I would know how much other work would need to be done after that. But you'd be looking at 11 up front for the Medicaid lien, um, and and uh, at least I'd say that's still like a $10,000 job to get it rent ready, and then you have to take care of the $9,000 in tax liens at some point.
Yeah, definitely. So altogether, just to get it started would be like 25K. So, all right. Well, I mean, if you can
Yeah,
get them to
yeah,
come
that's all
down
the
on
money
that.
up front instead of,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I
yeah.
like the
I just
first
took
one.
pictures of it this morning and sent it to Joe to
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good.
and so Joe's trying to haggle them down. I told him I'd pay 5 like today to get that lien taken care of, but we'll see.
I mean, like you were saying, you weren't expecting, or they usually don't expect to get any money back. So they're being butt munches.
They won't get any money if they don't take mine, but uh, these lawyers don't want the money or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that's their business. All right. Okie dokie, my friend. There's that. So let's go ahead and just see any unaddressed questions or concerns. You want to check your notes that you bring to the meeting every month?
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else, but let me check. Yeah, I don't have anything else. That's all. It's been a pretty good month.
Okay, all right, good deal. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get those patches done on the floor of Melwood. We'll exercise the groundwork to figure out what we need to do to split Darst into 2 Airbnbs, and um, and that property that you told me about, the $10,000 potential purchase. Those are 3 top things. Sounds good to me. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Anything else you wanted to talk about before we are done? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
No, that's all I got.
Okay, all right, good deal. All right, Stephen, well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Nope, that's all I had.
What? I'm sorry, the Skype is having issues, I guess.
Nope, I didn't say anything. Nope.
Yeah, Skype's having issues. Yeah, as always, pleasure chatting with you, my friend. And just let me know, keep me apprised of all the stuff we're talking about, and I will see you next month, okay? All right.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Bye.